The one person meant to protect her threw her out. Her crime? Being born to a mother called cursed.
The rain didn't fall that evening. It poured like the sky itself was angry. Thunder cracked above Mama Neil's compound as she dragged 12-year-old Tandiwe by the arm. Her clothes soaked, her feet muddy, her small suitcase hitting the ground repeatedly. The villagers watched from their windows. Nobody dared come close. Nobody ever interfered when Mama Neil was angry. "Get out! Leave my house and never return!" Mama Neil shouted, her voice shaking with a mixture of rage and something deeper, fear. Tandiwe wiped her tears. "Grandma, what did I do? Tell me, please, don't send me out. I have nowhere to go." Mama Neil's eyes glowed with something dark, something Tandiwe had never seen before. "You and your mother are cursed," she hissed. "Both of you ruined my life." Tandiwe froze, her heart crushed like wet sand in her chest. Before now, she had lived happily in the city with her parents. She still remembered the warm evenings, her father's laughter, her mother's gentle humming. But everything changed the night their house burned down. While her parents slept, Tandiwe was only alive because she had gone for a school excursion. She returned to ashes, to silence, to loss. The plan was simple. She would stay with her grandmother, Mama Neil, until things stabilized. But from the moment she arrived in the village, Mama Neil's hatred grew like a shadow. At first, Tandiwe thought it was grief. Later, she understood it was something darker. Mama Neil had once warned her son not to marry Tandiwe's mother. Now she blamed her for everything. The fire, the tragedy, her son Neil's death. "You should have died with them," Mama Neil spat, voice breaking. "Your mother dragged my son into destruction, and now look what remains. Only you, her shadow." Thunder roared again. The rain beat harder. Tandiwe trembled as the gate slammed in her face, the sound echoing through her soul. She crawled beside an abandoned shed for shelter, hugging herself, trying to breathe through the pain. Her tears mixed with the rain. Then she heard footsteps approaching, slow, hesitant. Before she could look up, she heard Mama Neil whisper from behind the gate, her voice shaking. "Your mother's sin is hidden, but one day it will come for you." The words cut through the night like a knife. The rain slowed before dawn, leaving the village smelling of wet earth and cold silence. Tandiwe sat beneath the broken shed, hugging her knees, her body shivering from the cold night. Her heart still echoed with Mama Neil's last words. "Your mother's sin is hidden, but one day it will come for you." She didn't understand. Why would her grandmother say her mother was cursed? Why say such things about the woman who raised her with love? Tandiwe's thoughts were interrupted by footsteps. Fast, uneven, like someone was running. "Tandiwe!" A familiar voice called. She looked up to see Auntie Elna, her only friend in the village. The woman who had shown her kindness when the whole world felt cold. Auntie Elna wasn't married, and the villagers mocked her endlessly. But Tandiwe, lonely, grieving, and unwanted, found comfort in her little hut. She knelt beside Tandiwe immediately. "Chimo, look at you," she whispered, brushing mud from her cheek. "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I came as soon as I heard what happened." Auntie Elna's voice shook with pain. She knew what it meant to be rejected. She knew what loneliness tasted like. "Come with me," she said softly. "You can't stay here again. Your grandmother's house is no longer a home." And so, Tandiwe followed her. Auntie Elna gave her a mat to sleep on, food when she had little, and a smile when Tandiwe felt she didn't deserve one. Days passed, weeks passed, months slowly rolled by, and Tandiwe began to heal, little by little. Then one hot sunny afternoon, everything changed. A small boy ran into Auntie Helna's compound, running, shouting Tandiwe's name over and over again. Tandiwe rushed outside, confused. A woman stood beside the boy. A woman Tandiwe had never seen before. She was light-skinned, elegant, dressed too richly for the village. Her eyes scanned Tandiwe gently, almost painfully, as if she had finally found something she had searched for. "Good afternoon," she greeted politely. Auntie Elna responded, "Good afternoon, madam. How may we help you?" The woman stepped forward, her voice soft and steady. "My name is Mrs. Reratu. I knew Kela, your mother." Tandiwe froze, her breath caught in her chest. I. The woman continued, her eyes shining. "I've been looking for you. Since the day your mother died, I've searched everywhere. I owe her a debt I can never repay." Auntie Elna looked at Tandiwe, then back at the stranger. Tandiwe's voice shook. "You knew my mother? But I've never seen you before." Mrs. Reato nodded slowly. "Yes, and I understand why you are scared. All of this must feel sudden, almost like a story someone made up." Tandiwe swallowed, unsure. The woman looked too perfect, too clean, too calm for her to trust. Mrs. Reato stepped closer. "I want to take you with me to the city, to give you a chance your mother begged for. But I won't force you." Tandiwe's heart raced. To leave the village, to go with a stranger, it felt unreal. Mrs. Rato sighed gently. "I know this is too much. So, here." She reached into her bag and handed Tandiwe a small card with a phone number and a neat address written in blue ink. "When you are ready," she said softly, "call me or come to this address. I will be waiting." She touched Tandiwe lightly, almost motherly. Then she turned, entered the black SUV, and drove away, leaving Tandiwe standing in the dust. Night came quietly, wrapping the village in heavy darkness. Tandiwe lay on her small mat in Auntie Elna's hut, staring at the ceiling as the lantern flickered weakly. Her mind kept replaying the woman's words. "I owed your mother a debt I can never repay. When you are ready, call me." A card, a stranger, a promise, and a past she didn't understand. Auntie Elna sat beside her, plaiting her own hair and watching Tandiwe's troubled face. "You've been quiet since afternoon," she said softly. "What's on your mind, my child?" Tandiwe hesitated. Then she handed her the card. Auntie Elna's eyes widened as she read it. "See? This woman. Are you thinking of going with her?" "I don't know," Tandiwe whispered. "Everything feels strange. Why would someone I've never met look for me for years? Why would she say she owes my mother?" Auntie Elna exhaled shakily. "Tandiwe, not everyone who looks rich is dangerous. And not everyone who looks kind is safe." She paused. She paused, looking at Tandiwe with soft eyes. "I think you should go," Auntie Elna said quietly. "There are bigger opportunities in the city. This village has given you nothing but pain. Maybe your mother sent that woman for a reason." Tandiwe swallowed hard. She wasn't sure if she was scared or hopeful. But Auntie Elna had never misled her before. "Are you sure?" Tandiwe whispered. Auntie Elna nodded, even though her eyes were slowly filling with tears. "Yes, my child. You deserve a life better than this place, better than what your grandmother gave you." That night, Tandiwe barely slept. Her heart was full. Fear, excitement, confusion all mixing together. She kept staring at the card, the name, the address, the promise. By dawn, she made up her mind. She packed her small clothes into a nylon bag. Auntie Elna tied her wrapper tightly and walked her to the junction, her steps slow as though she wanted to delay the goodbye. When the bus arrived, Auntie Elna pulled Tandiwe into a long hug. "Go and shine," she whispered. "And don't forget me." Tandiwe said, "I will never forget you," fighting back tears. The bus drove away, raising dust behind them. Tandiwe watched the village disappear, the broken shed, the memories, and Mama Nail's fearful eyes. Hours later, the city welcomed her with noise, bright lights, and moving shadows. Everything felt big. Everything felt new. Everything felt like another world. A car waited by the road. Mrs. Larato stepped out, her smile warm and genuine. "Welcome, Tandiwe," she said. "I'm glad you came." Inside, two children ran towards the door. Her kids, both around her age. They looked at Tandiwe curiously at first, then smiled and hugged her like they had been expecting her. Within minutes, they were showing her their rooms, their books. Mrs. Lerato watched them fondly. "You are safe here," she told Tandiwe. "You will grow here, learn here, become something greater than your past." Tandiwe felt her heart relax for the first time in months. From that day on, she lived with Mrs. Lerato's family, ate with them, studied with them, sleeps in the same room with her kids. People who saw them together outside assumed she was Mrs. Lerato's daughter too. And Mrs. Lerato never corrected them. It felt like a new life, a new beginning.